Guatsi, Cache, greetings. I'm Jon Ghahate. I'm the Museum Cultural Educator here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I would like to welcome you again to another edition of our Tour Tuesdays at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. Our museum is a way that we can help our guests understand a little bit about the culture, the heritage of who we are as Pueblo people. We're going to explore a little bit of this section of our museum we call traditional teachings. It helps explain a little bit about the culture, the heritage, the acquired knowledge, the acquired skill sets were part of our Pueblo communities. Some of those things that we talk about are how we incorporate storytelling as a narrative. Although writing had not been incorporated into many of these civilizations, the very most important part of holding on to that culture, holding on to that history, was through the oral narrative. And even though today we have many media, many different kinds of forms of recording things, such as writing or digital recordings, the oral narrative remains very much an integral part of our civilizations, where storytelling, where we let our history is incorporated through the words that we use so that we can tell not just about the past, but certainly look forward to the future. The oral narrative remains very much integral to our civilizations, to our societies, to our clan systems. And most importantly, as we use our languages to help incorporate those stories, that's what gives us a sense of place. And so that's what we want to help express as it applies to our museum here. Some of those examples of traditional wisdom, traditional knowledge, traditional culture includes the things that were part of our world. Things such as cotton that allowed for many of the civilizations that existed here to create clothing and different forms of materials such as weaving and incorporating that into different kinds of designs. Another example that you will see in this part of our exhibit area is the incorporation of different plant uses. Many cultures around the world have incorporated different plants and medicinal items in their environment for treating illnesses or for herbs and spices. One of the examples you'll see here in this particular part of our exhibit is the plant yucca. Yucca as a plant was used for a number of ways in which the Pueblo people incorporated it as part of their livelihood. The things you'll see here is that each of the fibers could be used for making paintbrushes to decorate the different kinds of potteries that existed here. Later on, we also know that sometimes yucca fibers were used to create baskets as well as sandals or other items such as rope or fastening materials. And then lastly, one thing you'll see in our exhibit here is that how the root of a yucca was incorporated to making a detergent, which has been used for centuries, even before the Europeans came to this side of our world. And one last thing about this particular area of our exhibit is that many cultures, even before civilizations really became part of what we call humankind, was that they incorporated many forms of some type of expression, some type of instrument, some type of way to celebrate the fact that there were things in their lives that they were grateful for, or at least thankful for. Many cultures incorporate some type of percussion instrument. Many of our Pueblo cultures use a drum as a way to demonstrate perhaps the heartbeat of who we are as human beings. Oftentimes, it's said that as an infant within a mother's womb, that the heartbeat of a mother and the child become one. They synchronize together, and now that form, that drumbeat becomes part of who we are and helps us describe many of the things that give us a sense of place. These things, even though they are in the past, they still remain very much a part of who we are, even in the present day. We invite you again to join us for our next edition of our Tour Tuesdays. We appreciate and encourage all kinds of feedback. We certainly look forward to hearing from many of our guests from all around the world. We invite you for future editions as well as special events that are occurring on our website. So until we meet again.